Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 63. This is a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto, making changes to improve the story from my personal taste. If you like the series, please leave a like on this video, help me out here. Also subscribe if you haven't and make sure you ring notifications. A lot of people in the comments have been saying that YouTube hasn't been notifying the latest rewrites, so make sure you ring the bell so that doesn't happen to you. And let's get going. A few minutes ago, Suigetsu swung the Executioner's blade. His arms were incredibly swollen due to the enhancements from the Hydrification Jutsu. The Great Blade met another, an even greater one. It impacted Kisame's Samehada with a strange sound that resembled the regular metal clash of swords. The two Great Blades clashed in a quick and powerful exchange of attacks and parries. The Samehada was covered in bandages, but Suigetsu knew that blade was strange, alive, and also extremely powerful. The strongest of the 7 mythical blade of the mist. He needed it. He just had to take it from the man who stood tall in front of him with that shark smile of his. You've gotten good, little Suigetsu. You're even better than little Zabuza now. Oh, I don't think I am. Suigetsu slashed, but he was countered. He had to hide his fury, his craving, his need for Samehada. He had to make it seem it was just another casual sparring session like all those years ago on that boat. But when Suigetsu saw an opportunity, he had to go for the kill in a single blow. That was his sword's speciality after all, executions. Karin and Jugo stared at the two duelers with apprehension. Suigetsu, damn it, you really shouldn't be doing this. I have a bad feeling. At least the Leaf team halted, and by the feeling of it, they're fighting someone. That's good. But the chakra I'm feeling from Sasuke's location. Karin shivered. She could tell Sasuke was locked in all-out combat with Itachi, and she had never felt his chakra flaring like that before. Besides, Tempest clouds were forming that way. You're also very excited, aren't you? You should go easy on an old-timer like me. Oh, I know your true strength, Mr. Kisame. I wouldn't want to embarrass myself. They kept swapping attacks. So if you're on Sasuke's team, I assume you had been under Orochimaru all this time. Something like that. It wasn't too great, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't think so. Itachi doesn't seem to like that guy at all. He had its highs, though, my time there. Like when I killed Yagura. Kisame narrowed his eyes in the middle of the exchange. Did you really? Suigetsu used that small window of opportunity after he delivered that information and managed to bypass Samehada's guard, aiming straight at Kisame's neck. That's it! Suigetsu thought with a smile, but then a flash of realization came. He was about to kill again. Break his promise again. It was too late now. Suigetsu wouldn't be able to stop the slash. The Samehada moved on its own. The shark mouth ripped the bandages on the tip of the sword and it bit the Executioner's blade, stopping it before it reached Kisame's head. The blue man smiled. Whoa, little Suigetsu, that was a dangerous attack. You could have taken my head off. Kisame said, with his sword biting and binding Suigetsu's. I knew you'd counter it, Mr. Kisame. But yeah, I kinda killed the 4th Mizukage. So the great mystery is solved then. I have to be more careful around you. I remember you wanted the Samehada back in the day. I wonder if you still feel that way. We kinda settled that we would fight for that sword one day, didn't we? You're putting me on the spot here, little Suigetsu. The Samehada isn't made for duels, and facing a Kage Slayer is not something you do every day. Neither is the Executioner's blade, to be honest. Besides, aren't you hunting down tailed beasts or something? The guys you fight are also really strong. They kept on clashing, and as they did, Karin focused her senses more and more on Sasuke's fight, until a moment she realized Sasuke was out of chakra, and Itachi, to her horror, his chakra was still flaring. Karin squirmed. Sasuke was going to die. She had to do something. She had to save Sasuke. Go rescue him. You go. Sasuke's going to lose the fight. He's going to die. We have to go help him now. Take care of the blue weirdo. I'll make a run for it. She whispered in an urgent tone. Jugo's eyes opened wide, and he gave her a subtle nod. Kisame and Suigetsu kept on exchanging attacks, and Jugo waited until Kisame's back was turned towards him. When that happened, he created a curse mark cannon on his arm and shot a chakra blast at Kisame's back. At the same time, Karin jumped away from the rooftop they were on towards Sasuke's location, but Kisame surged surged in speed. He broke through Suigetsu's guard and shredded Suigetsu with Samehada, which popped completely out of its bandages. Half of Suigetsu's body exploded into water and Kisame turned around, weaving a sign. The Samehada opened its mouth and swallowed Jugo's chakra blast. At the same time, Kisame spat a water bomb back at Jugo. He managed to create a curse mark shield on his arm, but the water hit with an awesome explosion that destroyed the rooftop they were on and sent Jugo flying away. Before Suigetsu's body recomposed itself, Kisame jumped towards Karin, who was doing a mad dash towards Sasuke. Karin winced, noticing her pursuer, and sent a dozen adamantine chains flying out of her body towards Kisame. He unleashed a quick flurry of strikes, hitting the chains and sending them away. Every time Kisame touched the chains with his sword, Karin felt her chakra being siphoned out of her. The chains were connected to her body after all, and that sword appeared to be able to suck down chakra. Damn it! I didn't know this guy was this strong! She thought in desperation as he approached her in the air. You're a sensory type, aren't you? I guess I was impolite. I have been suppressing my chakra signature this whole time. Karin froze, landing with shaky legs, and the adamantine chains that came out of her just flopped to the ground, motionless. Her senses were overwhelmed, as if a tsunami had crashed on her stomach. Kisame had stopped suppressing his chakra signature. That man had a frightening chakra pool. No, that wasn't even a man anymore. It was a monster. That chakra, it was the size of a tail beast. Kisame grasped Karin's neck with his powerful blue hand and squeezed it. Not too tight to make Karin pass out, but with enough power to make Karin understand she just couldn't do anything about it. Now, don't go running away like that. I'll have to snap your neck. Let her go! Suigetsu shouted, running at him with the executioner's blade in hand. Jugo ran beside Suigetsu, bruised up by the last attack he took. Kisame did so, releasing Karin's neck. I don't intend on killing any of you. I just cannot let you interfere. Itachi's orders. Does it really make you do stuff? I wouldn't obey him. In time, you'll learn loyalty is the only virtue that matters. Suigetsu and Jugo stopped, calming down. But Sasuke is going to die, Karin said, starting to cry. She understood they couldn't do anything about it. The man guarding them was far beyond their powers. Suigetsu winced as his legs wobbled a bit. That shredding attack that destroyed half his body had eaten away an insane amount of his chakra. That Samehada truly was something else. Please, mister, please, let us go help Sasuke. He's going to die. Karin begged, kneeling on Kisame's feet with tears streaming down her face. Suigetsu was surprised to see Kisame's face becoming somber, almost sad. His usual unapologetic glee vanished, and he looked up into the graying sky. Don't worry, your friend will be fine. What do you mean? The last time I spoke with Itachi, felt like I would never speak with him again. Meanwhile, water fell on Naruto after he emerged from the pond Tobi had kicked him into. The Leaf Battalion stared at the masked man who stood tall on a branch. This scene will remain the same as in the original here, with the exception that Hinata and Sai are obviously not there. In the original though, the scene happens before the Sasuke vs Itachi fight, but I moved it in the rewrite. The scene ends with the battalion charging the masked man after Yamato gives orders. A hooded man walked along the rainy forest. He jumped to a tall branch to overlook the landscape and saw the dark fire consuming the trees ahead. So those are the inextinguishable flames of Amaterasu, Kabuto said. He took off his round glasses and wiped the raindrops off of them. Before putting them back on, his fingers pinched the bridge of his nose and he winced. Lord Orochimaru, could he have really killed you with Sasuke? I should have been better. I should have tried to take you away from Sasuke before, but I just couldn't. My legs, they didn't move. Kabuto remembered the day Sasuke took Orochimaru and simply left the hideout, not even caring about Kabuto's presence. He jumped forward, putting his glasses back on. He skipped through the forest and made sure he would go around patches that were burning with dark flames. He had to be careful not to be hit by small dark fire embers that floated around the forest. I have to try. I just need to have faith. Kabuto thought, activating the second stage of his curse mark. Among the soup of different chakra signatures and DNA that Kabuto had infused in his curse mark was Karin's. Once he used the curse mark, he gained remarkable sensorial capabilities. Over 10 kilometers away from his position, he felt a lot of chakra presences, but some sort of ninjutsu barrier was scrambling them. The feeling of that jutsu reminded Kabuto of the Yamanaka clan abilities. He was a spy in the Leaf Village for a long time. He knew pretty much every jutsu there was to know from those ninjas. But that signature came far away from the actual location Sasuke and Itachi fought. Far away from the origin of the dark flames, and also far away from where Kabuto saw that lightning monster coming down from the sky. Kabuto also sensed Kisame's massive chakra reserves, which obfuscated other chakras nearby him. He was also further away from the fight's location. To Kabuto's dismay, he couldn't sense either Sasuke or Itachi. Could they both have died? And if so, did Lord Orochimaru die with them? Kabuto just couldn't give up, so he had to keep on focusing everything he had into his curse mark, empowering Karin's sensorial ability that he had inherited or stolen. Kabuto could keep his curse mark activated for a much longer time than most curse mark users. It was an enhanced version, but it was still dangerous to his body. He knew the physical manifestation of Nonoi would eventually take him over, but Kabuto ignored it. He stood still once more on a tall branch and closed his eyes. Rain fell on him, and the dark fire surrounded his location. Through sheer mental focus, his consciousness expanded outwards, and he enhanced his sensorial capabilities, drawing an enormous amount of cursed energy which caused him a great deal of pain, until Kabuto felt it. A chakra he could never mistake, that he could never forget. And he dashed towards that chakra with the increased speed of the curse mark. Being careful not to get too close to the dark fire, Kabuto managed to make his way through the forest until he saw it. A small, fragile white snake slithering on the ground, which had miraculously avoided the Amaterasu flames, like a god making his way back from hell. "Lord Orochimaru!" he shouted and jumped close to the tiny snake. "I knew it. I knew you would survive." Kabuto opened his hands and gently allowed Orochimaru to slither into his sleeve. "Don't worry, I'll restore your body in no time." We return to the Leaf Battalion as Naruto, Kiba, Lee, and Choji slide back, having failed to bring the Masked Man down. This scene here will largely remain the same, with a few changes. It will be Neji doing the scouting with his Byakugan no Hinata, obviously. When Shino explains what happened and everyone's coming up with theories as to how the Masked Man is sleeping through their attacks, after Neji confirms it's not a clone as well, and Kakashi talks about his special jutsu, he will also say, "I had gotten the distinct feeling, an impression he could face through my attacks when I first encountered him before. This jutsu, if he can truly just become intangible, it has to be an S-rank hidden jutsu, or even a KK Genkai." The scene continues the same until Shino flares his insects. Instead of saying that he was left behind last time to go on Sasuke's retrieval mission, he will say, "We will get Sasuke, one way or the other," and then we'll think, "I wish I could still use the Golden Thief bugs though." Shino will have to resort to his regular bugs since he used the Golden Thief bugs against Jugo, and they have to rest for a week until Shino can use them again. Shino will use his insects to assault the Masked Man, but he won't say that line about him trying to be useful here. Those lines just wouldn't make sense after his encounter with Sasuke in the Land of Crystals. The scene unfolds just like in the original, with Zetsu eventually showing up and telling Sasuke won the fight, but is in pretty bad shape. The Leaf team sees the Sharingan behind Tobi's mask, and he leaves. Just like in the original, the Leaf Village will rush to the battle location after Neji locates it, and the scene continues the same. Madara and Tobi arrive at Sasuke and Itachi first, and they have the same conversation. It's just that Tobi can't stand on the wall anymore here because the wall was destroyed by a lightning bolt, and the Leaf continues to the battleground, and the scene remains the same until Kakashi activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, which he actually does in the manga, preparing to go all out in a fight to come. Suigetsu and Kisame had stopped their duel after Karin's attempt to escape. The four ninjas stood there silent. The howling wind was unsettling, being the only sound they heard. They were quiet, apprehensive. Karin was biting her nails. Zetsu emerged from the ground, surprising the members of Team Hebi.
It's over,
Black Zetsu said. What about Sasuke?
Sasuke has won.
Karin sighed in relief. Where is he now? We took them to an Akatsuki hideout. You three should come along as well, White Zetsu said. Wait, hold on a minute. You're the enemy. We're not supposed to go with you. You have to give Sasuke back. What the hell?
Shigetsu, stop picking fights with them.
If you wish to see Sasuke, I recommend you that you come with us. We're not going to harm you or Sasuke for that matter.
You are not our enemies.
Why did you kidnap Sasuke then?
Madara has his reasons.
Madara? As in Madara Uchiha? What do you mean? We'll explain it once we're out of here. The Leaf Battalion is nearby and they would be a pain to deal with. Suigetsu wins in annoyance. Fine, we'll go.
What about you, Kisame?
I would like to see Itachi's body to pay my respects.
Very well, let's get out of here.
The Leaf Battalion ran on the rain. They arrived at the destroyed site, which used to be the Uchiha hideout. Kakashi looked around with his Mangekyo Sharingan activated. So this is the aftermath of a battle between two geniuses of the Uchiha clan looks like, huh? Captain, I don't see anything. No one's nearby, Neji said with his Byakugan activated. There's a faint trace left, but with the rain, I just can't find the track. And it feels like Sasuke was teleported away from here anyway, Kiba said. So he could be anywhere now, especially considering what that masked man was capable of, Shino said, with a serene face, but he clenched his fists. We're too late, huh? Kakashi said, pulling down his headband to cover his Sharingan. The mission failed. Naruto sighed deeply, but his face was resolute under the rain. He looked up in utter contemplation. Sakura lowered her head down and tried to hold her emotions back, but she began to sob. Sakura, we tried our best, Ino said, trying to comfort her, but Sakura didn't listen to her. She was immersed in sorrow. Naruto came close to Sakura and put his arm around her shoulder. Without saying a word, he brought her closer to him. Sakura turned her face to Naruto and leaned against him, crying on his chest. The whole battalion remained silent. The sacrifices they made, Shikamaru's arm, Anko's life, they had been useless. And the only sounds they heard in that desolate, destroyed place were the rain and Sakura's tears. Kakashi looked at Naruto and Sakura. He was surprised by his reaction after failing the mission. He was proud of his student. It's not over yet, Sakura. That promise still stands. Sasuke wakes up in a cave-like room. Here we start the revelation scene about Itachi. The scene starts and unfolds the same way in the beginning, with one small change to a line. Instead of saying we've met once before, Madara will say we've met before, because in the rewrite, they have met twice. The scene continues the same way, with the Amaterasu Itachi implanted on Sasuke's eyes to go off on Madara. He mysteriously survives the dark flames, and a small line change happens here when Madara says Itachi mentioned he wasn't alone that night. In the rewrite, this line will be Itachi mentioned the two of you weren't the only surviving Uchihas. And then he introduces himself as Madara Uchiha like in the original. The scene continues the same way until Sasuke passes out from shock and wakes up tied by ropes. When he screams what Itachi has done, massacring his clan, killing his mother and father, being a rogue ninja of the Akatsuki, he will also say killing Sakura, Kakashi, and Naruto. No, Naruto is not even dead. You have him. The Akatsuki has him. Sasuke screamed, trying to unbind himself, but the ropes were too tight, and he was too weak. The wounds he had sustained, alongside the side effects of his Mangekyo Sharingan and the curse mark, weighed heavy on his body. That was mere sleight of hand, Sasuke. Itachi did not kill Kakashi, nor Sakura, nor does the Akatsuki possess Naruto Uzumaki, Madara said, as a strange swirly pattern spun out of a single hole in his mask. It bent space itself around it. Sakura and Kakashi's bodies fell from that rift in space-time, as well as Naruto's limbs. Sasuke let out an involuntary yelp of terror, but he focused and tried to gather any chakra he had to converge on his eyes. But that man, he could survive Amaterasu. His new abilities wouldn't even work. Calm down, Sasuke. I can see you building up chakra in your eyes. Sasuke stopped, realizing how stupid that was. If that man really was Madara Uchiha, his ancestor, he would have no chance against him, especially in the state he was in. His eyes drifted to Sakura's face. Utter hopelessness took him over. As I said, your former comrades are not dead nor captured. Madara weaved a hand sign and touched the dead bodies and the cut off limbs. Their shapes vanished and they turned into water, wetting the cave ground. What? This is Kisame's jutsu. He has the ability to create perfect copies of bodies using his water style. Itachi asked him to create these for him so he could fool you and awaken your Mangekyo Sharingan. What? That doesn't make any sense. They were too real. That's the purpose of the jutsu. Besides, do you really think Itachi Uchiha wouldn't be able to find out details about them and allow Kisame to create perfect copies? Sasuke lowered his head in utter thought. But he tried to awaken. Why would he do that? I see you're a bit calmer now, knowing your friends are alive. But you would have found out they were alive regardless of me telling you or not. The truth about Itachi is something you will only hear from me. He just did that because he wanted to awaken my Mangekyo Sharingan so he could take my eyes. He was trying to take my eyes the entire time. Yes, he did want to awaken your Mangekyo Sharingan, but he did not want your eyes or eternal light. Why? Itachi was a psychopath. He wouldn't have an issue taking my eyes. To make you stronger. To protect you. What? That's insane. That doesn't make any sense. He was despicable. And he was my goal. From here, we follow the scene in the original. There's going to be a small addition to a Madara line when Sasuke questions why he would believe the story he was about to tell him. Madara will say, I have no evidence I can show you besides the water bodies. So you'll have to decide if you believe me or not. The scene continues the same as in the original as Madara gets into the Uchiha and Senju clan flashback. The backstory Madara tells Sasuke remains the same until he comes to the part when he talks about the Nine Tails disaster. He will say, the Nine Tails was a natural disaster, you could call it. The Jinchuriki got pregnant, which weakens the seal during childbirth, and the beast escaped her. She was Naruto Uzumaki's mother. In a way, his birth caused the Nine Tails to attack the village. So, in a way, Naruto Uzumaki was responsible for the attack. And he will continue the explanation like in the original. One addition is that when Madara talks about Itachi experiencing war when he was only 4 years old, he'll say, that radicalized Itachi from a very early age. He became so anti-war that he would go to any lengths to stop it from happening again. His methods became extreme. His methods to protect his village and his brother. After all, remember everything he did to you. That was obviously harsh, extremely so, but Itachi was a man of extremes. Not only did he put up a facade of a psychopath, doing all those things to you, but he also made you much stronger by doing so. And the scene continues like in the original. A small change will happen when Madara talks about Itachi meeting and making a deal with him. Madara will say, in exchange for eliminating the Uchiha clan, I was to leave the Leaf Village alone. I offered to help him in the massacre, but Itachi refused. He said he was the only one who could do it. I believe he did so because he wanted to carry all the weight by himself, so he would never forget what he was fighting for, so that his convictions would never waver. Itachi may have been a pacifist, but he was also an extremist. No one else could have gone the lengths he went to protect you and make sure the village elders wouldn't decide to finish off the Uchiha clan for good. Of course, the massacre was not Itachi's first option. He and Shisu Uchiha tried everything they could to avoid the Uchiha coup without bloodshed. The third Hokage also tried, but everything they did failed due to Danzo's outmaneuvering them, using his root underhanded tactics. Hiruzen tried to negotiate up until the last minute, but time ran out. The scene resumes with the original and Madara continues to explain. The next change is that Madara will not mention Sasuke lost his curse mark because Sasuke still has it, but he will still mention that Itachi wanted to free Sasuke from Orochimaru. Also, Madara will not say Itachi intended to kill Orochimaru and awaken Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan that way because Orochimaru was Sasuke's closest person at that point, because Itachi would know Sasuke didn't care for Orochimaru, and that's why he used the water bodies to do so instead. After saying the entire fight was a setup, and it was executed exactly how Itachi wanted, diverting Sasuke's attention to the fact that he wanted to steal his eyes until the very end, Madara will also say, when a powerful Uchiha goes through the purest form of raw emotion, a powerful new chakra manifests itself within, and it's reflected upon the eyes. That is the awakening of the Mangekyo Sharingan. That's what Itachi wanted you to go through, but without actually having to suffer the consequences of a traumatic event. So he faked it with the water bodies, and it worked. You experienced an amazing surge of power, that new chakra which you gained and allowed you to fight longer even though you had run out, now makes you one of the strongest ninjas in this world, Sasuke. Itachi even pushed you harder after you awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan, and that was so you could develop your eyes in a semi-controlled environment. You can take your sibling's Mangekyo Sharingan only when you're dangerously low on light to awaken the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Your eyes must be fully matured before you do so. Itachi was prompting that. He even showed you what you should do. Take Itachi's eyes and awaken your eternal light. The entire fight was Itachi playing a role, and that was to make you stronger, to protect you. The scene resumes until Sasuke questions Madara about the Nine-Tails attack, and that he was the one who caused it because Itachi told him so, framing the Uchiha clan. Madara's answer will be the same as in the original, but then Sasuke will say, "You're lying to me! You're an evil bastard too! I recognize your voice, and that off-putting feeling you gave off. You were the one controlling the 4th Mizukage that day. You kept the Mist Village children killing each other by controlling him." It is true that the Akatsuki had several hideouts and even connections in the Land of Water, but I had nothing to do with the Mist Village's policies. I had taken control over Yagura only a few days before you encountered him. My intention doing that was to use Yagura to kill Orochimaru. He had been a nuisance to me ever since he left the Akatsuki, but you already took care of that for me, Sasuke. To keep it all hidden, Itachi fed you lies. You had to distrust me. He meant to keep you as far away from me as he possibly could. For if by any chance I knew any parts of the truth, it would ruin his plans if I told you. What plans? He wanted you to return to the Leaf, protect the village, be with your friends, live a happy life, satisfied with having avenged your clan. Itachi even warned the Leaf Village about the location of your fight. He attracted the Leaf Battalion to the Blazing Horn region in the hopes they would find you soon after you were done killing Itachi. He also drew them in because he knew your former comrades would come along, and so the ruse with the water bodies would work even better if you knew they were nearby. It turned out to work perfectly in Itachi's favor, as you even fought against Naruto Uzumaki. Itachi needed you to go back to the village as quickly as possible. He feared that if you learned the truth, or even small bits of it, this would disrupt your life and traumatize you in a way you could never recover, or perhaps lead you to a path Itachi wouldn't want you to follow. I am telling you the truth, as the only two Uchihas alive, and as your direct ancestor, because of the bond we share. You have the right to know it, Sasuke. You have the right to the truth, to Itachi's truth. You have the right to leave this life of lies you've been leading. You don't have to be shackled by Itachi's wishes. You have the right to understand your life and Itachi's have been ruined by the Leaf Village and their decisions, and that the life you led so far was drenched in lies, regardless of what you'll do after that. I feel that is my responsibility. You are my great-grandchild after all. No, I won't believe it. I won't believe it! Sasuke screams, continuing with the original. The scene remains the same until Madara mentions Itachi's illness. In the rewrite, Itachi is not sick, so Madara will not mention that. Instead, Madara will say, Itachi knew his Mangekyo Sharingan was running out of light. It happened during your fight against him, so Itachi was on a time limit. He could use the light he had left in his eyes to move against the Akatsuki, try to kill me or some other powerful members, or he could use the light to fight against you, to give this final fight, to set up everything so you would be free from Orochimaru, awaken your Mangekyou Sharingan, acquire knowledge of the eternal light, get easy access to Itachi's own eyes after his death, and be collected by the Leaf Ninjas, returning to the village as a hero who had eliminated the worst rogue ninja in their history. Did you really think Itachi would have fallen for your final Chidori attack to such basic misdirection after everything was set up and Itachi had taken every step he planned, given you every possible future advantage, and extracted everything out of that situation? He let himself get hit by your Chidori, accepting his fate. He could have easily taken your eyes and awakened eternal light. He would have acquired godlike powers. But once again, Itachi chose you. Once again, he valued your life more than everything else, even more than his own life. If he moved against the Akatsuki and his eyes deteriorated, he wouldn't have been able to give you that fight. He wouldn't have given you everything he possibly could, all for his beloved little brother, because he had to fight you and die in front of you. The rest of the scene continues the same, with Madara's speech about Itachi sacrificing everything for Sasuke, and we move to the scene when Sasuke is standing on that rock formation, staring into the water in the sunset, as Madara's speech continues to go. That does not change. The flashback of Sasuke remembering Itachi in the past and the moments he tapped Sasuke in the forehead will also remain the same, connecting back to Itachi's death, when we finally get the reveal of what Itachi murmured to Sasuke just before he died, with a smile on his face, tapping his forehead. "Forgive me, Sasuke. This is the last time." Sasuke cries, just like in the original, and the scene continues the same. Taka shall have but one motive. We exist. Sasuke opens his eyes, showing his Mangekyou Sharingan pattern to destroy Konoha. Watch part 64 right here. Please like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to ring notifications. It's really important. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this part, and thank you so much for watching.